Here's the problem with bringing in loads of new players all at once. It can actually cause internal damage within the club, and it's not as dreamy as it sounds. Bringing in new players and potentially better players mean people who are already playing will potentially miss out, especially those players who've been not at their best performances lately, and regardless of how long they've been with the club, they can easily get chopped out, and this definitely creates some tension in the club and some unhappy players. Now, in terms of starting 11s, I'm not going to get into that right now because we'll have to see what Unai Emery does, but the one thing I want to talk about today is penalties and free kicks. Now, I want to start off with penalties because this is probably the most pressing issue at the club. Also, whilst you're here, just click that follow button for me quickly. But yeah, as you may know, Ollie Watkins has been taking penalties this season, but he didn't really last year because he hadn't had the best penalty record ever. And the problem is still kind of persisting. He's had one missed, one scored, and one slip up, and it definitely doesn't do a lot for his confidence. For a man who's so good in front of the goal, I don't really understand how he can't take penalties. Maybe the pressure, but nevertheless, it's still an issue and it needs to be addressed. Ollie Watkins has stated this season in interviews that he's clearly wanting to add penalties to his goals. A lot of players do this. It's definitely stat pads. If you can't beat them, join them. Cole Palmer. But yeah, he's just not the best and he's pretty inconsistent. But with new players coming in, that poses a different question. And when one of those players is a very, very consistent penalty taker, I mean 90% of the penalties he takes, he scores, and that's without shootouts. This poses a big question. Does Rashford now take penalties? It's pretty harsh for a lone player to come in and take someone who's been permanently at the club, loyal, to then take their spot. But football is a team sport. At the end of the day, it's not about getting the most goals, it's about your team winning. So for me, I think it'd be silly not to have Rashford on penalties as much as it would hurt Ollie Watkins, but I just feel like it's the way it's got to go. Now, in terms of free kicks, we actually have a few different players who takes free kicks, mainly Dean, Tielemans, Maatsen sometimes, and McGinn sometimes. But for the more direct ones, it tends to be Dean. Don't get it twisted, Dean has got a foot on him. He scored some amazing free kicks in his past, and I think recently he scored a really good one for the French team. Even in Monaco, had a really good one on target, which got saved, which was a worldie. Obviously, Douglas Luiz was good at free kicks. I don't think Tielemans is as good as Dean, but if you had to pick a free kick taker, it's definitely Dean. Now, this man also happens to be really good at taking free kicks, and if you look at his highlight compilation, there's loads of free kicks scored. So that poses another question. Is this man on free kicks? Aston Villa fans, neutral fans, could we be seeing Rashford, a new loan signing, take penalties and take free kicks? It definitely caused some disruption in the club, but like I said, it's about winning. It's a team game. I'm pretty undecided on this. I think Rashford just has to do him. He has to. Comment down below exactly what you think and click that follow button if you don't already follow me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.